Welcome to GreenBiz Studio. I'm John Davies, Vice President and Senior Analyst at GreenBiz, and I'm joined today by Jad Daley, President and CEO of American Forest. Welcome, Jad.
Thanks so much, John. It's great to join you.
First off, tell us a little bit about American Forest and what your mission is.
So American Forest is actually the oldest forest conservation organization in America. We were founded in 1875, and so for almost 150 years, we've been the servant leaders for the forest movement in America, trying to bring diverse organizations and people together to identify at any given moment, what do we need from our forests and what do they need from us to survive and thrive into the future. And as you can imagine, at this moment in time, where forests are so pivotal on issues like climate change and social equity, that servant leadership is needed more than ever to bring the country together to really get it right for forests so they can help us.
That's fantastic. And just this past August, you launched a U.S. chapter of 1T.org. Can you explain what that's all about?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really thrilled about this effort, which we've launched in partnership with the World Economic Forum. So back in January, the World Economic Forum had the great vision that this idea of 1 trillion trees, conserving, restoring, and growing 1 trillion trees was, the goal to unify efforts all around the world to make trees and forests a solution for our greatest challenges like climate change. And so launch 1T.org as a unifying platform for all the different folks who are doing some part of that work to come together and integrate their work, learn from each other, partner together in new and different ways so that we could do more and we could do it better to achieve this 1 trillion trees goal. And so there was incredible interest that came almost immediately here in the United States from government leaders, corporate leaders, nonprofit organizations, civil society groups that want in on this work of 1 trillion trees. And so we've actually launched here in the United States the first regional chapter within this global effort to create kind of a local docking station for folks here in the United States who want to be part of this global effort to collaborate here at the U.S. scale and to form the right kinds of partnerships and shared efforts to get this work right.
So if they want to get involved, what's the best way for them to connect with this initiative? Is there a website or some way that they can do that?
Yeah, so we want this to be the most inclusive forest movement that's ever been launched here in the United States. And so we've built a structure that creates a place for everyone. So our website, us.1t.org, creates a number of ways for folks to participate. And really the first is to make a pledge of support to achieve this goal of 1 trillion trees. And so folks can pledge forest conservation activities, tree planting activities as well, and also supporting actions that can help us achieve this goal of 1 trillion trees. Things like technology, workforce development, carbon finance, and other things that make the work of conserving, restoring, and growing forests possible. So folks can go to the website, they can see the template for making a pledge. But then once organizations have made that commitment, they are now part of a community of practice that we formed so that all the organizations doing this work across America can come together and do this work better, create new partnerships, get access to new technical information on things like how to plant and care for forests in a changing climate. And these are the common challenges that we all face to get it right for this 1 trillion trees goal. And so by becoming part of this effort through making a pledge, folks are then part of this community of practice, and we've already started standing up working groups for organizations to come together and collaborate on these important challenges ahead in this work.
So you mentioned a really interesting word there, and you talked about inclusivity. And I know one of the other initiatives you have is around tree equity in cities. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, and I'm really proud to say that that tree equity in cities is part of the work of 1T.org. That our vision for 1 trillion trees is from city streets to wilderness areas and everything in between. We need the benefits of trees and forests more now than ever, but we especially need them in cities. And here's the thing: if I show you a map of tree canopy in virtually any city in America, I'm also showing you a map of income and a map of race in ways that transcend income due to structural racism like redlining. And so we have this incredible inequity of the distribution of trees in our cities. And that has huge consequences for health equity and huge consequences for climate change resilience, because as we've seen with the increasingly intense and deadly heat waves here in the United States and around the world, we urgently need the cooling, the natural cooling that we get from trees more than ever. And so when you think about where we don't have trees in our cities, well, they're, again, lower income neighborhoods where folks are less likely to have air conditioning or less likely to be able to afford to run that air conditioning and protect themselves, more likely to have pre-existing health conditions that put them at risk of heat-related illness. And so it's urgent. It is an absolute moral imperative that we create tree equity in our cities from the inequity that we have now, so that we can create equitable protection for people from extreme heat, so that we can bring the incredible air quality benefits of trees equitably to the neighborhoods that need them the most. So tree inequity right now actually magnifies the dangerous inequities that we have in our cities. Creating tree equity can be a major step forward on remedying these broader societal inequities that we must address as a country.
That is a really exciting program, Chad. So I've been joined here with Chad Daley, President and CEO of American Forest. Thanks, Chad.
Thanks so much.